I think the key with that, and for me, is like I just value my time more. You know, where like if a day goes by and I haven't done shit, like what is going on? You know, like that's a serious problem.
If I had put my goals here and knew that I need to work on these things, I would have been satisfied with where I'm at right now. But because I set a bar so high and I went like this much, that's why I'm like, I'm not satisfied.
Bigger goals than just money. It's like, you're always going to want to make more money. You're always going to want to do better.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Charge It to the Game. My name is Misha. I'm here with my host, Simon and Rome. We have accomplished a shit ton in the last year. We've done a lot. This year has like both flown by and like also, you know, when I look back at the start of 2024, feels like a long time ago and a short time ago in a weird way. This episode is going to come out probably like end of December 2024, maybe early 2025. So we just wanted to sit down, talk, reflect, go over wins, losses. You know, let's jump in. Where do you guys want to start?
I don't know. I would like a fake mic, bro, or something. And there's the mics. Now, I have the coolest mic, by the way, but you guys can see it. All right, it's over there. Can you show them, or there it goes? Okay. Well, what we were kind of talking about earlier, you know, like would you guys have ever thought about being here where we are today this year? You know, when we didn't even have an office yet. We're coming in, we're dialing cold call, 200 fucking leads a day. Did you ever think that we would be hosting masterminds fucking this year? Do you ever think that we'd have people fly from all around the world to come see us speak? How many masterminds have we do this year? Actually,
At least three.
3 masterminds. Yeah, 3 masterminds. And what else did we do, bro?
Bro, I mean, we're sitting on a freaking podcast studio.
We got
I mean, we're
fucking furniture, the mics, cameras, everything. We're
hosting YouTubers
now.
We're getting recognized on the street.
I'm very grateful, but I'm not satisfied. But I'm learning to be a little bit more grateful because all year, for me personally, and about you guys, like my health has taken a toll. Because I'm still trying to figure out why, but I think it's because I keep on trying to live either in the past or in the fucking future. Right? Because to be honest, I'm 31 years old, right? And I'm not exactly where I want it to be. And I always feel like I'm playing catch up. But this year has taught me to be a lot more patient, bro. And life will fucking throw you not tasks, not lessons.
Science.
Science. Yeah. Science to make you slow down, you know, whether it be something happening in life or it will give you like a fucking health problem, something to make you like, that's what I believe. Everything happens for you, not to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And us going to Mexico, we just came back from Mexico a couple of days ago, bro. I've never felt that better after leaving. But anyways, we can dive more into that later. But yeah, the stress can actually fucking kill you, bro. You can eat healthy, you can pray, you can do this, but if your mindset is not right, then what's worth fucking working for all this money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think too, like even something that you know, Eric talks about, right, is like your success is limited to the amount of stress that you can handle, right? So like I don't think it's, you know, because like I feel that too, you know, like and like we'll get into it, but like a lot more responsibility now, a lot more people depending on us, you know, a lot more things that we need to get done in the, you know, in a limited amount of time every single day. And it's like, it's not about, you know, getting rid of like certain stressors and certain things that are happening, but it's just about being able to manage them more effectively, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, bro, like even you just saying that, like that's crazy because, you know, I was, you know, when we first started, bro, like in Starbucks, calling off of freaking Android phones with US SIM cards, you know, just turning a Starbucks into a sales floor with like multiple closers all hitting the CC sheet. You know, like if someone would have told us, you know, hey, yeah, we're gonna be doing content, doing podcasts, doing masterminds, doing everything that we're doing now, I'd say you're freaking lying, you know. But like I remember when it started, like, you know, like my thinking, bro, like when I dropped out, and we really went all in on this because, you know, the industry didn't really exist, like no one had really paved the path for it yet. I just knew like, yo, years in the game. Combined with, you know, the right skill sets, constant personal development, surrounding ourselves with the right people, I'll get to where I want to be. I have no clue where that is, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think this year a lot of things have clicked, and a lot of things have you know, started to crystallize and come to reality, and we're just getting started, boys.
For sure. 100%, bro.
Yeah, but
I like what you said, bro. It's like going back to, first of all, I can't believe you guys actually use the same fucking phone in the Starbucks.
yeah.
Same trap phone,
Yeah.
like with switch phones. So how would it work? Like, oh, I'm tired, like you take over?
Well, I think it was. I don't know if we were doing that as much. I remember because like I went to up to university up in Waterloo, and I was there with two other closers, and I think we had one phone and you know one SIM card, and there was like beef, bro, because it was like on a schedule. We're like, okay, you get it during these 4 hours, and I get it during these 4 hours, and like Amon knows the people who I was sharing the phone with, and they're freaking emotional asses, and you know what I mean. And it's like I'd be like in my head, I'd be like,
I had my own phone.
All of
bro, it'd be like, yo, I'm closing. Like, you're not. Like, I'm not giving you the damn phone. You know. But anyways, now let's get back to it. Amon, any thoughts on the last on 2024?
I mean, exactly what you mentioned. Like, even when we all committed to this, I don't think we knew that it was gonna materialize into what it is actually now. And like one thing that's remained true is what you just said, like the commitment to the game, the commitment to the self-development, and through those journey, or on that journey, as Rome was just mentioning, talking about signs, there were different signs. You know, I remember in 2023 and more so in 2024. You know, you got a sign about doing content that paved the path. And then, you know, we all jumped on. We started this podcast because of it, with MC growing and scaling it and taking it to a point where, you know, marketing, sales, fulfillment, everything was on point. Well, the agency kind of went through an epiphany. It was like, well, let's just do that for other people, but actually take equity in. You know, through all of our commitment to just the agency and the vision, more importantly, you know, it kind of led us to where we're at right now.
Yeah. So like, I mean, let's go through it. Like, what do you think was like the kind of the biggest area of growth, or like first you know, thing that comes to mind there? Is it content? Is it management? Is it sales? Is it, you know, network, travel?
literally everything you just mentioned, bro. There's just so much intensity. You have so much leveling up in different fucking spaces, different areas in life, skill, even sales, leadership, content, getting better at podcasts, like going back home and listening to my podcast, see what I did wrong. You know, am I using filler words? You know, just keep on getting better and better. And what I learned is that, okay, I have all these things I need to get better on. If I don't organize my day properly, I'm going to get fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, like, we have 24 hours a day. And what we're doing, like, you need to have a system in place where you're able to do everything balanced. And even then, like, it's still tough to balance it. But for me personally, it was like organizing everything better. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck can I do? So remember, like, we found like the war map, right? You found the war map, I think. And
Yeah.
And you shared that with me. Like, okay, fuck, I have something like a project management system. All right, let me plan out my week. And then I developed more. Like, I found something else now that works for me. I don't know about you guys. I think you guys are like maybe more consistent. You know me, I'm probably like one of the most inconsistent out of all three of us. And I needed something to work for me. And I found Motion isn't paying me for this or anything like that, okay? Didn't happen.
But if Motion is watching,
Well, yeah.
sponsor.
It was so sick, bro. Like, I just put in everything I need to do. I was telling you this, and then and when the deadlines are, and then it will plan your whole fucking week. And if you don't take it off, it'll just push it and shift it somewhere else.
Oh, really?
It's so sick, bro. I'm like, kid, this works for me. So we're trying that recently.
Yeah, and bro, I mean, let's start there, bro, because I think, you know, like, I feel like, we're probably about, like, at the start of 2024, we started 2020 exactly, like, at the start of 4 years in the game at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think like, as you spend years in the game, it's like all of a sudden you can kind of zoom out a little bit more, right? As opposed to like, if someone's just like starting out and they're, you know, 6 months in, it's hard to really like zoom out and look at a year and like plan out a year and like, hey, what are the priorities and what are the focuses and where do I want to be by the end of the year? I haven't even made it through a year, right? But I think like for me, like because we've been through years, and there have been moments in those 4 years from 2020 to 2024 where like there would be like 1-2 months where it's, crazy growth, getting better, seeing jumps in the money that I'm making. But then there would be like 4 months of stagnation, of just staying in the same spot or even regressing, and like, the warm up was huge, bro, but because it like allows you to kind of zoom out and just see your year as a whole, right? And like come up with, okay, like what are my priorities like quarter by quarter, right? That was big, right? With everything that we're doing now, we have like 5-6, key responsibilities where each one of those things could probably be a full-time job.
Yes.
Right? Like the warm up was big, like thinking in quarters, and then you kind of zoom in on the month, and then you break that down into daily tasks, right? And then it's like you're just command shift X on each one, freaking checking them off.
Cross it out.
Yep.
That's fucking cool. Love that, bro.
Yeah.
My favorite fucking 3 buttons.
Yeah. Never knew you could do that until we started using the warm up,
Yeah.
And then it's just like day by day, right? And I feel like that was cool. Even like how, going from like just being hustlers and, trying to make it happen month by month, where it's like we're having quarterly meetings, right? Where we're reviewing, like what actually happened in the last 3 months. What did we accomplish? What did we not accomplish? Cool. What are the major priorities and rocks that we have to set for the quarter ahead, right? Great. Why didn't we hit them last month? What solutions can we come to? What are we doing this new quarter, right? And it's cool because like looking back, it's like, yeah, you get so much more shit done when you just, I think the key with that, and for me is like I just value my time more, where like if a day goes by and I haven't done shit, like what is going on? Like that's a serious problem. If an hour goes by and you haven't made progress, it's a problem,
Yeah.
Especially when you start looking at months, weeks, quarters.
Yeah.
I think that's big.
So you'd say organization for the both of you? Like in terms of like personal growth are the massive areas?
I'd say that's definitely something that I focus on this year for sure.
Because like I feel like we know exactly what we need to do.
Yeah.
Just gotta do it. You gotta find the time to do it. And actually fucking do it, not be lazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just so everyone knows, because I feel like people don't know, like the tasks that we're talking about, they're not so much like sales calls or management calls. It's more like needle moving activities where it's like you fit it in between or around, the sales calls or management or training or coaching calls that you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like we have we have an event tomorrow to go to.
Yes.
Or to do it at my house. And when you asked me, let's do it on Friday, you saw me on video. I just looked at my motion thing. I'm like, my week is about to get fucked tomorrow. You know what? Whatever. I won't take Sunday off. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, that's what the warm up. That's what gave me ease. It's like, okay, like if I am able to do these things at this day and this week and this month and this quarter, then I'm able to get to where I want here. I can just predict every time where I want to get to. And that just gives me ease, and I can actually see it actually working and get satisfaction from it and feel accomplished.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point.
But because it's like, even like with what you said, right? Like there's a lot of like sales calls, management calls. These are like kind of, instant activities, right? Where you close a deal, you make money, right? It's just one and done, right? And you have to keep doing it over and over again, where it's like, now we're leaders on our team, right? We're developing our guys. We're making content, we're planning events. We're coming up with new approaches and angles when it comes to the marketing on some of the offers, right? Where it's like now we're kind of transitioning into activities and things that don't pay off instantly, right? Where it's like we might have a project where, we drop a hour-long case study. I dropped a 3-hour freaking course at the start of this year online. Like that was something that took me like 2 months to make. And it's like the daily just crossing it off. That's like the satisfaction that just getting a little bit closer to it, But yeah, that was definitely a big one.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. I feel like even when it comes down to, like, if we just think about our team and the agency as a whole, I feel like the agency and our business got a lot more organized, a lot more structured, which kind of came from, I said bled into the business where our marketing team and systems and just SOPs are a lot more organized, fulfillment, customer support, etc. Especially with what we're doing now with, partnering with different businesses and offers, like we got to be dialed in. And we're practically keeping the whole ship afloat.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you guys this, like, did you guys come into 2024 with a plan? Like, did you guys have things, priorities, things where you said, okay, this year I'm going to do this?
I can pull it out right now.
Okay, go for it.
What was the follow-up question to that?
Based on that plan, but because I know my own plan, right? There's a lot of things that I prioritize, certain goals that I set for myself. Some of them I came close to, didn't necessarily hit. Some of them just, didn't even happen whatsoever. And then there was also some things that were unexpected that turned out to be huge positives, that weren't planned, So like, I guess based on that initial plan, like, how did that go? What happened when you compare it to, your actual plan?
Didn't go well, bro. Didn't go as well as I wanted to do. For example, for content, I had a goal, like I need to be doing this, this, and that. For management, I want to do this, this, and that. For sales, this and that. Personal development, this and that. Travel, family, all that, bro. I put too much. I put way too much, more than I can handle. Bro. Only, like, so for example, film a video every single week. And then went to film a video and I'm like, fuck, like, now I need to learn how to write. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know how to script and how to do it properly so people can understand and teach it. I can communicate it properly. That's a skill on its own. Now I have to put my knowledge into it, and then I have to upload on YouTube and figure out how to write proper descriptions and proper titles and thumbnails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Learn new shit every single time. So like, that's why it didn't go as well. And that's why it stressed me out the most, because if I had put my goals here and knew that I need to work on these things, I would have been satisfied with where I'm at right now. But because I set a bar so high and I went like this much, that's why I'm like somewhat satisfied.
But do you feel like because you set the bar so high and like you push yourself to that level, do you think that maybe increased your productivity or made you learn certain things faster?
Yes. Yes. But this stressed me the fuck out. I lost sleep for 2 months. You guys remember, I couldn't fucking sleep, bro. Do you know what I mean? So there's like two sides to it, bro. I wouldn't be wearing a heart monitor right now under this shirt, bro. Well, hopefully it's the last time we're going to be wearing it. And it's because I figured out, I'm like, okay, first of all, I let everything go, bro. I'm like, fucking leave everything to God. You know what I mean? Let go and do what I need to do and organize everything. After I did that, bro, everything started sleeping now. You guys know I'm sleeping now. Look at me, bro. I look like $1 million. You know what I mean? Sleeping well, bro. Feeling better. No more like heart issues. And now we're checking up, making sure everything is gone, bro.
Nice.
So for me, it was a huge win.
Amazing. Worth to hear that, bro. Let's fucking give a hand for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Cool, because you don't know Anna. Oh, no, yeah, for sure. Like here.
I was like, Lucas to join in. No, bro, that's amazing, bro. I love to hear that. That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you? What about your goals? You guys' goals? There's one.
Yeah, Mon, you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down, like, goals, definitely, in terms of, like, a plan, I wouldn't say I have, like, a plan where it's, like, step by step, this is what I want to do. It's more so, like, setting the intention for me. But, yeah, no, I mean, I feel like when it comes to goal setting, depending on your philosophy, whether you set, like, extremely ambitious goals or if you set like, super achievable goals, like, just based on your personal preference. But with a lot of the goals that I had, like, they showed up in my life in different ways. Like, getting a new car or getting to a specific income level or traveling, to different parts of the world and, how many times I'd travel. Like, it came up in different ways. Like, traveling for me, I was thinking, the year prior, took a vacation with my mother and my sister. And I wanted to do more of that in 2024, give back and spend time with them and go on vacations with them. But then the year happened and we're going to Miami for a mastermind. We're going to Utah to attend a mastermind. Then we're going to Mexico. Then we're going to all these other places. And it's like, kind of what you just said, like setting the intention, but then leaving it up to God, because those signs and those goals will kind of come to your life in in different ways. Now, don't get me wrong, if you have like an income goal, you definitely need to do what you need to do to get there. But when it comes down to, for me, like I wrote down, I want to travel to 4 different countries with my family. But then I traveled to 4 different countries with my family, but like, not my mom and my sister. And it's just crazy how like that kind of showed up into my life. And like when you just, I don't know, talking even a little sidetrack, like big takeaway for this year, it's like believing more in, God's plan for you. And like at the end of the day, you can do a lot, but you can do even more when you have, the power and the strength of God inside you. And on a side note, I feel like all of us in one way, shape, or form, like connected deeper to God. I
Yeah,
don't
for
know if
sure.
you want to talk
For sure. No,
about this.
but because there's certain things you can plan, there's certain things you can't, right? There's only so much that you have in your control. And like, I think one of the things that I learned is like, it's very arrogant to think that it's all in your control. And,
Agreed.
it all comes down to you, right? Like, especially when you're going after an amazing life, you're going after big things, like, you can't just say like, oh, I'm just I'll just make it happen for myself, right? There's certain things that are outside of your control, right? And certain things that have to fall into place. And I think certain things have fallen into place this year in a lot of ways, which is amazing, So okay,
Jumped into a cenote too, so squash my fear of water.
nice. So how would you guys? I mean, looking back on that, like, how would you guys measure success differently going into 2025?
How would I measure success differently?
Yeah, I mean, I can sort it out
Sure.
if you guys want. I think I was very going into 2024. I think I was very, very like, I kind of had like the broader plan, and like I knew that things would play out the way that I wanted them to if I do the actions. But like, I think I was very caught up in like the month to month, right? Like, what are the results? What kind of sales am I making? What kind of sales is the team making this month, this week, today? What kind of how's the content doing? What kind of views are we getting? And like, I would almost get, like emotionally detached to those immediate outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
and I think one of the things that I would going into 2025 do differently is like, yeah, just zoom out more, right? Like especially with the kind of things that we want to do, like having more leverage, and doing bigger things, going after bigger goals, like they happen over longer time frames, right? And the short term, fluctuations and outputs and results, a lot of the times don't really, like when you look at a graph, if it's like this, but it's going up, that's where the direction we want it to go, right? So you can't get caught up in the ups and downs along the way, So I think just again, just kind of zooming out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I would measure success. I think I would measure success that way, looking at my year as a whole, as opposed to month to month.
But how would you measure that?
Yeah.
And like on a side note, this is definitely gonna be the dance move of 2025. Graph going up.
What is this? Ah, I missed that.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, like when it comes to, no, I agree with that, like a more macro perspective, because at the end of the day, especially like with what we do, it's so easy to get wrapped up in the day to day,
Yeah.
where you can get emotional around, the team's performance, your performance, a piece of content not performing as you would have liked or hoped.
Or even like, not to jump in, but like even on the other side too, like I feel like this year I made more money than I've ever made in my life. It was my best year, and like not getting too caught up in the wins too, where it's like like not getting too happy or too excited, because even like I've caught myself when you have a big month, the most dangerous thing that can happen is you get complacent, right? And that has happened where you start patting yourself on the back, and then the hunger and all of the things that got you to that point, you lose it, and then you start regressing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to tap back into it. So it's just like being detached from all the outcomes, whether they're good or bad, zooming out, looking at everything as a whole, you know?
Something else that just popped into my head as you said that, it's like, I know I believe in this philosophy, but this is something like into 2025, like I really want to like embody completely, where like your goals are just a byproduct of certain actions. We all know that. And it's like with everything you just mentioned, it's like you got to completely detach yourself from the outcome and just focus on those inputs, focus on the actions. Like when it comes down to, for example, creating content, there have been some videos on my page where it's like, that should have way more views. And I'm going to let that affect me for making another video. But it's like, fuck that. Like if you have a goal of getting to 10,000 subs, for example, it's like, well, not posting videos is not going to help you get there. So it's like relentlessly committing yourself to the actions, knowing that the results will come.
Yeah. Is that something you're focusing on for 2025?
100%. Like, because at the end of the day, you just said it, right? Like when you have a big month, it's easy to be complacent the next month. But if the goal, I mean, this is also another thing that I want to bring into 2025, like bigger goals than just money. It's like, you're always going to want to make more money. You're always going to want to do better. So it's like having a goal that's bigger than just the money, where it's like, hey, I want to have an audience on YouTube that, is 50,000, 100,000 subs, whatever it is. Like that goal is far bigger than just, I want to make 30 grand next month. Okay, you hit it. You'll be satisfied for a second. Then you'll be like, okay, now I want to do 50.
Or even like taking numbers out of it, but like just like being proud of every, like if we're talking about content, of every piece of content you put out, right?
Exactly.
Where it's like regardless of anything, it's just, like I put in my best work.
Yeah.
Like even I'm looking at my war map, and like quarter by quarter, like that was actually one of the adjustments was like, shift content to just long form, high value, where it's like, forget about views. Who cares about that? It's just, how can I just speak to exactly who I want to speak to and just give that person the maximum amount of value?
Yeah.
I
like what you said there. So that was a question that I would ask myself every time I put out a piece of content that would make me feel better. Like, yeah, I didn't get a lot of views, but then I think Hormozy was, said, ask yourself, like, if that was the only piece of content you had out there online, would you be proud of it? And I look at my content, I'm like, yes. And that gave me ease. Just that one question, asking myself, So I think that's powerful.
Easier said than done for me. Even though it's like, I'm proud of some of that content. It's like, fuck, I wish it had more views, but that's something I'm working on.
You, how many videos do you have about right now? You think shorts probably like 100, but like long videos, things like that.
Just under 20?
Under 20. Yeah, bro. We need to definitely put some more reps in. How many videos do you have?
Probably like 60.
60.
Yeah.
I think we're like almost the same, bro. I think I have like also 20 videos. Yeah. But that's where like, I think practice still counts, right? Practice and then also analyzing your videos, which is super cringe, to really want to speak. But like, it's so fucking important. Like when I watched my first podcast here, I'm like, like, do you not know how to fucking speak English? Yeah. But sometimes you have to be uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Yeah. So if you're uncomfortable, it's working, bro.
Nice. Let's talk about you have a little bit about content. What about management, sales, leadership? I think we all took on a bigger role. We've been doing that forever, but like we've all taken on a significantly bigger role this year when it comes to that. Yeah. Any like hard lessons that you guys had to learn this year when it comes to management?
Easy, bro. Babysitting.
Okay.
Babysitting. That's exactly what it is. Before we used to do one call a week, and sometimes I'd cancel a call, but like, well, we're having to fuck it up. You know what I mean? So stupid. But yeah. So and we changed that to every single fucking day. Every single day. Even if we have like we'll have something to talk about. We have a call to review. What else? Performance. What's it called? With
KPIs.
performance KPIs. Yeah, learning more about numbers, KPIs. What do they need? Like actually, not just working on, because all the time for me, I was just working on the quality, not the quantity. Was looking at the numbers. Little do we know that the numbers was telling us like almost everything. What about you? What were some big takeaways?
Well, the one that you just mentioned.
Going hard with like more than being a month right now with management.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot, to be honest. What you just said for sure. Like, yeah, like like maybe babysitting isn't the word, but like,
It's the word.
my you said it's the word.
The word.
Yeah, I guess it is. But it's like there's a lot of like I never liked being micromanaged as a closer. So it's like I remember when I first started managing, like I wouldn't want to micromanage other people.
Yeah.
But it's like the thing is like you have to communicate your standards to someone, right? And you have to hold them accountable so hard where it's you trust but verify, right? Hey, I trust that you're gonna text back every single lead that comes in, but I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna check.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do that over and over, right?
Yeah.
I think that's one. Meetings for sure, like, and just doing more, right? Like doing a lot. So that was big. I remember at the start of the year, actually, I had a group of guys, all young guys, all of who I liked, and I felt had potential. But what ended up happening was performance was low, and it was low for a little while. And like I was training them, I was doing my thing, but like I can't say I was giving them 100%, because again, like I can make excuses and say I had a lot of shit going on, but like that's just not an excuse as a leader, like you have to prioritize that, and I probably didn't as much as I needed to.
Yeah.
And then I just one day I just fired all of them. I just sent out a message to all of them. Hey, that's it. Performance isn't where it needs to be. Whatever. We're terminating, right? And a big message there. Well, there's a couple lessons from that experience that I learned. Is like, one, you can't expect others to give you their 100% if you're not giving them yours.
That's the biggest.
Right. And it's like if someone's not performing and if you're not fully pouring into them, like that's on me. That's on us. Right.
Yeah.
That was one. Two is like, really, really setting like proper expectations with people, and like saying, hey, this is what it's going to be. Like, you're going to start out on dials. You're expected to be doing hundreds daily. You're going to get a lot of rejection. You're not going to make a lot of money either, probably for your first month or two, until you start performing. Then you can start, getting more opportunity, inbound, whatever. I would take the opposite approach, right? I'd be like, hey, if you just work hard, you can, make the money that you want. And it wouldn't be clear the expectations.
And then they get demotivated.
Exactly.
They're not making a lot of money. Think they suck, and
yeah,
it goes down.
As opposed to just being totally upfront, being so raw. Hey, this is your goal. Great. Here's an example of someone else who did exactly what you want to do, but like this is everything that they went through first, and like this is what you're going to have to do. And by the way, I'm also evaluating you and a few other people. These are the benchmarks that I'm going to be assessing your performance with. Here is how I'm going to support you and coach you along this journey. And as long as you can accomplish X result, you can see, X opportunity, right? Like really like setting expectations like strong. And then probably the last thing that I would say, which is actually more of like recently, with the recent hiring round is like really communicating like my values as a leader. Like I used to think that was like corny. I used to think that was like just weird. Like
Golden State
values, mission statement, like what the fuck, bro? But like at the end of the day, like when you just look at the people who are doing what we do at the highest level, that's what they do. Right. And it's important, right? Every single team that's accomplished anything, right? Whether it's a sales team, a sports team, a business, anything, it's, they have defined values, right? And everyone buys into it, where, for example, never make the same mistake twice, right? No shame in underperforming, only shame in not knowing why. Owning your wins and owning your losses, right? Taking complete accountability over those things. Where it's like, communicate those clearly up front, And then when values are maybe out of alignment, it's like saying, yo, hey, this is one of our values. Like right now you're outside the values. Like let's get back on board, right? And then on the other side too is saying, hey, you know, great work, like reinforcing values, right? Where you say, hey, you know, you did this and that was great. That aligns with what we do, right? Awesome. Keep doing it, you know? Stuff like that, I think is
Written
huge.
Do you have like written out, or do you communicate the values to each person type thing?
Values, yeah, written out. Well, like I have them in my notes, and it's something where like, you know, like whenever I bring a rep on board, it's like, hey, you know, one of the first onboarding calls, right? And even in the interview process, it's like, hey, these are our values, right? And if we're going to work together, if we're going to be successful, I need you to commit to every single one, right? Like let's go through them, you know? And then once you get that commitment, it's, you know,
It's so huge because that you're similar to how we set up our prospects for success when they buy into whatever we're selling, whether real estate, e-commerce, whatever it is that they're buying. We got to do the same thing with our reps. We got to set them up for success. And I feel like that conversation is really important, and that probably determine how well they do or not. I didn't realize that until like very recently. And it would stress me out because I would like in the beginning of the year when I hire somebody like, yo, this offer does this much, highest guy's doing this much, you can make this, you can make that. But I wouldn't set expectation like, by the way, you're gonna have to work your fucking ass off first. You might not make any money, Now I'm setting him up for fucking failure. Doing a disservice when I thought I was just motivating him so that he can make more money. So another lesson that I learned too.
Yeah. From everything you guys said, and even like when I reflect on management, even just looking at you guys, looking at myself, like there's one word that comes to mind, and it's just like intensity. Like when you think about professional athletes, you know, they're sweating their balls off at after the game. Like their entire back is drenched. Even if you've played basketball, I played soccer, Rome.
I played everything, bro.
That
In high school.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
But I sucked at all of them, bro. And I fractured my collarbone playing basketball and never played it again since fucking 15 years old.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, this one is a little bit bigger than this.
I don't know what's that. Yeah, you can show me later.
Sure. Well, no. But yeah.
But as I was saying, like even like when I was playing, you know, high level sports, like there's someone who is also drenched in their jersey, and then there's someone who isn't. Think about chess players. Chess players, what they lose like 1,000 calories every single game because of the intensity that they're operating at, and everything you mentioned, like the day-to-day activities of meeting with them, leading by example, taking sales calls, closing them, being on top of them, inspiring and empowering them to step into the version of themselves, make the identity shift. Like it's just intensity. Like when I hear you on your calls with your guys, or whenever you hear me on the calls with my guys, like that's one thing where it's like, hey, you want to make that type of money? Great. Forget about the money. Focus on the inputs. Focus on the version of yourself you need to become. And then it's holding them accountable to that level of intensity where it's like, bro, like you're not even operating at the bare minimum standard you need to be operating at to even be classified as that type of person. But it does start with you. You know, at the end of the day, you can't lead a team if you can't lead yourself. And or that's really where the intensity comes from. Like waking up, non-negotiable, like you waking up 7 a.m. non-negotiable and making that and adopting that habit. Well, I guarantee you that's going to bleed into your reps, and that's going to help you lead in so much better ways. Something for me that you mentioned, you know, not giving up on your reps. You know, there would be some times where you'll be on a sales call or where, you know, you'll be doing any mindless activity related to what we do. And it's like, you kind of give up. It's like if you're, let's say, in objections, you're like, I could either go for the close or I'll follow up, and you just kind of let that person go. It's like, well, that's the same intensity you're going to be bringing to your management and your guys.
Yeah, like you set the standard as a leader, right? You set it. And everybody should, you know, raise up to that standard, right? And that should be a constant. And then you got to raise the standard again, right? And
it's like aura too, bro. Like the intensity's aura. Like when you're leading yourself and you're on your shit, you're doing that stuff. Like it's just aura that people feel from you. Like you don't even need to tell me that you've been sleeping. You don't even need to tell me that, you know, you've been, you know, working on yourself. Just looking at you, I can tell, like, goddamn, this motherfucker looks sexier than ever. So it's like, I know you're doing, and you have that aura.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm blushing from the inside.
So it's on the outside too, a little bit.
How do you feel like it's making a huge difference? I don't know for the, you guys know, like I would value like sleeping late and, I would work till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That's my kind of quiet time. Most about the quiet time in the morning. I'm switching it up and it hasn't been long, but it's been fucking amazing already. Like, starting the day off with fucking, because your whole team's starting too.
Mm-hmm.
How you want to lead a team if you're not leading yourself first? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see your guys wake up, James, 6:30 in the morning on that all hands meeting. It's like, no, I feel that.
Let me ask you guys this. What would you guys say was like, one like your biggest win for the year of 2024? And like, why did that happen? Like what was going on in that time that led you to that win? Maybe like a moment, maybe something big just over the year.
I mean, a lot of things happened in my life, like over the past year. Got a new car, went on all these different vacations. Also, shit. What was the question again, man? I'm just reflecting through the whole year. I'm like, I'm fucking getting.
What was the biggest win of the year? The biggest win of the year, and why did that happen? What happened before that win? What state were you in? What was going on in your life that contributed to that win?
Rob, you got something? I gotta think about this a little.
I gotta think about it too, bro. I feel like I need to write that.
Yeah, well, like,
goals. It's like everyone was bigger. This and that. But I'm trying to, because usually you ask that question, and the first thing that comes into mind usually is the true answer. And
yeah,
for me, I think the biggest win really is probably.
Would you say your health?
So I did. I was gonna say organizing my life, because organizing my life more and my priorities has helped my health and my sleep and everything, bro. So I'd definitely say organizing my life, organize everything, bro. My own drawers that I haven't opened in fucking 3 years. You know what I mean? Like literally fucking went, organized everything. I'm like, maybe that will help me think better. I think that'll probably be my biggest takeaway.
I think that would be surprising for someone to hear who doesn't know you, who sees the Rolex, sees the designer T-shirts, sees the lifestyle, sees, the high ticket clothes or you doing your thing. I think they'd be surprised to hear that you see your biggest win as just getting things together, right? Like creating more peace, creating more routine, optimizing, different areas of your life.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, how does that contribute to the results that you see? How does that, lead into work, into sales, into leadership, into content? Because I agree with you. Like that's the base of everything. I think if you don't have like your shit together and your routine and you're not in the right headspace, then everything kind of just falls apart, right? But like I know that, but like maybe some people watching though, and maybe they're going through some shit right now where like they don't have their stuff together.
It's a deep question, bro. Like, first of all, you gotta organize your life, and like you would say, organize your life. What do you think? First of all, you gotta organize everything in boxes, bro. 5 boxes, 4 boxes, whatever works for you. Work, relationship, family, personal, spiritual. Right. So you organize it, and you kind of the first thing that you do is kind of rate everything out of 5, bro. Where am I at this? Where am I at this? Where am I at this? Okay, this is a 5. Look at the lowest one. How do I get them to 3 to maybe a 3 to a 4 or 2 to a 4? Then you just start. It will give you the answers yourself, bro. You'll know exactly where you're at and what you need to work on. And I can go deep into this, but yeah, if you just organize with that, now you know exactly what's in order, what's not order, and start working on that.
Yeah. So.
Because that.
Yeah, so like what do you think was like the biggest, like you kind of touched on like organizing and like using like freaking apps and sheets and shit like that. Like would you say it's that? Like would you say it was something else? Like what was the biggest kind of step that you took to get that organized?
One word, bro. Present. Just being present. It just allowed me to be present. You know what I mean? If I have everything organized, I now know that when the time comes, I'll do these tasks and I'll work on these things. For now, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to give all my energy and my focus right now for this to flourish. So just allow me to be more present on my sales calls, more present with my relationships, more present with you guys, with my personal life, more present with God. You just allow me to be more thinking about, oh, fuck this, that, I forgot to do this, I got to do this, this, and that. You're no longer present. You're no longer creating anything new in your life. You're just living in the fucking past and living in the fucking future, and you're depressed, you're anxious all the time, and you get sick and you die. You know what I mean? So that's why the first thing I said, like, stress kills you if you don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Being more present.
Nice.
The past already happened. The future isn't promised. The reason it's called the present is because it's a gift.
Yeah.
It's Master Oogway, fucking Kung Fu Panda. The real ones, bro. Master Oogway was a legend. He was a G. But no, let's clip that. That's true as hell,
What about you, bro? Biggest win on the year?
bro. I mean, if I'm going with the first thing that popped into my head, it was definitely like when I think about a sector, like relationships with my family, relationship with you guys, relationship with my girls. Like a lot of those things, like over this past year, what it really did for me was it just held a mirror in front of me. And it held a mirror in front of the parts of myself that I would overlook, to be honest, whether it's like my attitude towards certain things or my communication style, my demeanor. And it's like, that just it helped me realize where it's like, dude, there's so much that, yeah, I'm doing well, but there's so much more that I could be doing better. And, deepening my relationships, it's just like, that's the best way I like to put it. Put a mirror in front of me, and that mirror would only show me the ugliest parts of myself that I would not be willing to accept.
Damn.
And it was a hard pill to swallow. And like, it helped me see a lot more growth, like mentally, emotionally, but also like when it comes down to the finances and just the business, being able to understand what it truly takes to, be the best version of yourself from a perspective that I didn't really look at it from, because, we're big capitalists. We're big, like, hustlers, grinders. And it's like, yeah, that's important, but there's a lot more to life than just that. And everything else influences your finances. Dylan, our mentor, he says this a lot, and it runs true to me. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And if you're ignoring other parts of your life, it's probably because it's affecting you financially and you're just not willing to accept it. You're just going to be stuck in your own ways, ignorant, arrogant, which is not going to help you grow. And I know it probably wasn't an answer you guys were expecting. It wasn't really an answer I was expecting, but just thinking more about that, it's like, it's one of those things. It's not like it was a goal of mine. Hey, deepen my relationships or get into a relationship. It kind of just happened.
No, but I was actually, I mean, bro, like I think I've definitely seen you grow and as a person a lot this year, and it's inspiring, bro, for real. With relationships, with focus on everything else. I feel like for me, I'm the opposite. But like I'm probably way too swayed towards work, sales, career, making money. And I'm okay with that. I think I've created a pretty good balance in my life. And I'm okay with sacrificing a few years of my life to just, maximize this because I know what kind of potential we can have. But like, yeah, bro. No, that's huge. And I like what you said, how it puts a mirror to you and it makes you kind of reevaluate, yourself in areas that you can improve.
100%. Because the world is as you are, not as it is. And if you're not the best version of yourself, well, the world isn't going to be the best version of itself for you.
Would you say another win of yours this year was your ability to drop one-liners in the middle of a person conversation?
Bro, we're on a whole weekend awesome, bro. Drop it, bro.
One-liners. Do you guys know who you guys are? Man, like that. That's another thing when it comes to relationships. Like especially like you guys. I didn't even like really talk about that, but having you guys by my side, even though I'm not the best communicator when it comes to like texting or anything, but I always know that you guys got my back and I got yours, and like again, leading by example. Like, especially when we were out in Tulum, it's like, bro, the most badass thing. Like, straight up, the mariachi thing, that was so legendary. Like, ordering a mariachi band, like, 6:30 in the morning, it's like, that's the type of shit we, like, that's why we make money. That's why we work hard. It's to do funny, dope shit like that. And, like, doing that, it's like, bro, like,
Right now,
we have to play that clip somewhere.
put it.
6:30 a.m. on a Monday.
That that's I guess something a little more like on the funny side, but even just in general, like when I said that word intensity, like you both are some of the most intense motherfuckers I know, and it rubs off.
Heavy, bro. Proud to be your friend, my guy, and family.
Respect.
Both of you, my guys.
Yep. 100%. I feel like when I think about I feel like when I think about biggest wins, bro, like honestly, first thing that comes to my mind is like, because okay, like for the longest time it's always been kind of selfish, right? Where it's like, yo, I got my sales calls, got my shit to do. Let me make the most amount of money this month. Let me close the most amount of deals this month. Let me get my shit together, my fitness right, all that.
Yeah.
But I think this year, we've grown our team a lot, and it's been really really cool seeing a lot of young guys that we've brought on this year, guys that we've trained who started from nothing, go on, touch their first $10,000-$15,000 months. Like that's a cool fucking feeling. It was like seeing guys come up from the very fucking beginning, from nothing, grind their ass off. Like take a lot of lessons, implement it like relentlessly. Like that was actually really humbling. It was like seeing certain guys like really just execute really hard on like random things that I might say in like passing.
What do you mean humbly?
Like, bro, like well, that's like, it's like a humbling thing. Like seeing makes you think like, oh damn, like my responsibility is actually a lot greater than why are you smiling, bro?
I got big one.
What?
At link was something that Armand said for about the texting.
Okay. Nice.
So the only time is nothing to do with this, bro. But the only time I would open Jonathan's text message.
That's a fuck you. Fuck you. Actually, not. Yeah.
Bro, this call is just to get the Zoom password. I'm up to the chat. It's been months, bro. Now just go on WhatsApp to his name, copy the Zoom password. Anyways, now that's out. But yeah,
That's a huge moment, bro. I like. Yeah, I'll let you finish whatever you were gonna say, because that's so huge. Like showing someone else and helping someone else get to that income goal and kind of make a complete shift.
Yeah, bro. No, like what I was saying is it's cool when like everything that you're doing, like you share with someone else and they actually go and change their life because of it. Like that's super dope. That just goes to show that we're expanding what we do. It's bigger than just ourselves now. There's other people who look at us for leadership, and they're going hard, and like that just puts more on us to continue to get better, hit new levels, to set the standard, raise the standard. So that was really cool. I think we saw the most amount of like results through MC, through our agency, guys coming in, making crazy money, which is, and a lot of them making more money faster than we did.
bro, most of them.
Fucking insane. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, most of them. The ones who don't get fired after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All of them.
Exactly. It's crazy, bro. Like, guys coming in first year, just like stumbling into 30 grand a month, freaking 10 grand a month, 15 grand a month.
Crazy.
Like first few months, it's like, damn, but like, bro, like that's the way that it should be, and
If that didn't happen, then we didn't do our job properly, right? But what's the most thing? That's your biggest thing that you're proud of, Food Tech?
yeah, I'd say that's definitely one of them.
Deep.
That I think like the content stuff is pretty cool. I feel like content and like really locking that in was kind of more of like a a 2023 thing. Was like, I was like really, you know, that was probably the big win of 2023 was like cracking that, unlocking that, you know, building up momentum with it. So like now, like this year, 2024, I think like leadership was definitely, you know, the biggest win, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I see that, especially just like, you know, from the outside looking in. I wanted to ask you, do you feel like, what do you feel in that moment? Is it gratitude? Is it fear? Because like, you know, you gotta like do more. Like when you see your guys winning, crushing, you know, what do you feel in that moment?
Um, I mean, not fear, not, I mean, gratitude, you know, yeah, like, you know, grateful to be in the position where we can, you know, impact, influence, kind of pave the path for people. Um, I don't know, like, what do I feel? Like, it's the thing is like, you know, they like you get to know a lot of guys really well, and just like because you've like all of us, we've kind of walked the path already, where it's like we already know everything that they're gonna run into. Like we already know every problem that they're gonna face. You know, we already have an idea of how they're gonna react to it, how they're gonna feel about it, you know. But like we've just been through that entire process that you know, some of these guys coming up have already are currently going through, right? And like that's part of the reason why we can shorten that is because we can just say like, yo, like this is what you need to focus on right now. Like, don't trip about like you might be super worried about this, but like don't even trip about that. Like that's not even a problem. Like you need to focus on this and do this, and then you know, let's talk again next month after you implement it. You know, and then it's almost like I'm just like my feeling like I'm just like not surprised. I guess like
Yeah.
when certain guys start doing good, it's like okay, yeah, like you know, well, it's cool knowing that like hey, like that worked for me. I shared it with you. That worked for you. Okay, great confirmation. You know.
Yeah, that's kind of where the place I was coming from, where it's more so like, yeah, like once someone's done it, you know, okay, what I'm giving that person, even though I lived it, it's all
Yeah.
factual. And it's like,
Yeah.
in terms of feelings, I feel like that brings more certainty more than
Mhm.
anything, where it's like
Yeah.
certainty in like the feedback, advice, direction you're offering, but also certainty in your ability not to only do that with like 2 out of the 10 guys, but to do it with all 10 of them.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Like building confidence as a leader is important too. You can't really you can't have like you know imposter syndrome or anything as a leader, you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you can't like act, yeah, you have to be,
Yeah, your guys will sniff right through that.
yeah, that was a big one for sure.
Also,
Also,
question that you asked.
what was a big win that you had, and then the follow-up question was like what led to that win, right? Like what was like the state that you were in on that win.
So run it.
um I mean, um when it comes to, I mean, I've been, I think, something that, you know, like I really think that when I first started sales, like I was all right, like I was pretty good, um, you know, and like even to this day, like I don't think I'm the best closer in the world. I think I think I'm solid, and I get the job done. But like at the end of the day, like you know, from where I started, right? Like I wasn't really that good. At a certain point, I got really intentional about getting better and growing in sales, personal development, all of that. And like I basically just like figured out how to get good at stuff. You know, like I figured out how to like focus on something and just get better at it. You know, and then that worked with sales, that worked with like fitness, that worked with discipline, that worked with mindset. And then all of a sudden, like starting content was like a cool unlock because it was like now like, okay, I'm brand new to fucking content. I don't know anything about this, but like I can learn it. And I got excited about that. You know, execute still got a long fucking way to go. Um, you know, not even close to you know where you know we can be, but you know, got that going, right? And then kind of the same thing with like management too. But like I just looked at it like a skill and like something that I can get better at, you know, where it's like, yo, I can go on YouTube and I can go look up a Cole Gordon video and just watch 10 of his videos on a Sunday, write down a bunch of notes, and then just like implement 4 things over 4 weeks, just fast. You know what I mean? Boom, 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 implement, and now I'm getting better, you know?
Yeah.
And like even now, it's like now we're, getting this whole freaking CRM set up with this offer where, okay, that's going to be the next thing. It's just like nerding out over CRMs for a couple weeks, getting that going. The same thing applied with like the dashboard, right? And the fucking KPIs, just like nerding out over that shit for a little bit. I think yeah, it's just like making it a game. We kind of talked about it on the last pod with Adrian and Typa.
Gamify.
Yeah, it's gamify. Right, you make it a game, and then it's like,
Stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a banger.
yeah, it's probably already out by the time they're watching this. But
To the past.
yeah,
I'm just in the present. That's why. I'm locked in.
yeah. But like that's I don't know if that's like the state of mind.
No, it is, bro. Your ability to learn, that's definitely something that like I've learned from you. Like learning is a skill set. Like people don't want to believe that. But like learning is a skill set. And that's what the traditional system teaches you. It honestly teaches you how to learn, but it just teaches you shit that you don't really want to learn.
It doesn't teach you how to learn. And Hermosi says, he has a really good fucking quote about this. It's like, when you learn something, it's when you have the same circumstance, but different action, right? So like if you fuck up on objection, because, you sounded like you wanted to sell, you had commission breath. And then, like if I fuck up on objection and you're like, yo, Misha, like, you have to like slow down when you're an objection handling. You have to chill the fuck out, right? And then I say, okay, cool. But then I go take another sales call, and like maybe I take down some notes, and I remember, yo, AC said you got to chill out when you're objection handling. But if I take the next sales call, I get an objection, and I don't slow down, I didn't learn anything,
Yeah.
right? So it's like new circumstance,
Behavior.
new behavior, right?
I like that.
So like school doesn't teach you. School teaches you how to fucking memorize, right?
Yeah.
Bro, hold on a second. If I was watching this YouTube video, I'll go back and rewind the last 2 minutes, bro. Different circumstance? Same circumstance.
Same circumstance, different behavior.
Yeah.
Where it's
That's
like,
how
where
we
it's
know
like,
you're learning.
Example.
so like, if you said like, in your YouTube videos, you got to have like a strong hook, right? And your hook, you have to like speak to a pain that someone's having,
Okay.
right? It's like, we know that, right? But if you make a YouTube video, like you might learn that from something, but then if you make another YouTube video and you don't, it's the same circumstance, but it's the same behavior, then you didn't learn anything, right? And like we see people that we're training, sales. It's like you say, yo, okay, you're struggling at digging deeper. Try asking this specific question in this moment. And then they just do the same thing that they did last time. They didn't learn anything.
Goes against your values, bro.
Yeah.
Which one?
Can't make the same mistake twice.
Yes, very true.
No, that's. But as I was saying, like that's definitely a state. Like learning is a state. I like it. It's not really something that I feel like is really looked at. But like when I look at you, like I see you in a constant state of learning.
Yes. Yeah, you're buying courses, bro. You're motivating us to open these courses up and crack it open. I thought after school, I don't have to study anymore. But no, like I have to make time right now in my Motion app, baby, to study. Like this to read a block, to study this, to learn how to do whatever thumbnails, for example, learn the psychology behind it, all this stuff, practice, Gotta make time to learn.
Man, bro, like I find it like the state, bro, I'm having fun when I'm learning, bro.
And teaching.
I'm having fucking fun. And exactly. And then when I'm like sharing, like I was just nerding out over freaking Bitcoin to AC.
Dude, we're
like,
walking on
an
a
hour
fucking
ago.
beach in Tulum.
and I'm like breaking down.
Sure.
You were fishing.
I'm breaking down like,
I think you were saving a turtle or something.
yeah.
Bro, we're walking on the beach the whole time. This guy's telling me about Michael Saylor and Bitcoin. Love it, by the way. But like, I can tell how like the learning also like teaching helps you learn.
Yeah.
At least what I've noticed.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. And like that's why I just go on rants like that to you guys sometimes, because I'm just like trying to reinforce my own shit that I'm learning.
Absolutely.
But yeah, bro, I find it fucking fun. And like it's cool because like when you learn shit that makes you money, that allows you to buy whatever you want and live a dope life, like sign me up, bro. Like I'll learn whatever, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm down. All I have to do is just learn things that other people already have the answers to, and I just need to find those answers and implement them, and I can have whatever the fuck I want.
Sounds fucking simple.
Oh, sign me up, bro.
Yeah, so simple.
You know, so
Checkout page.
yeah, that's kind of the state. And like, bro, I go in and out of that state, but in like months and quarters when I'm really locked into it, yeah, that's when magic happens. So like maybe even like going into 2025 would be to double down on that somehow and get more intentional about it. You know, like I was even you know, I was talking to D about this because it's like what we're doing, bro, like no one's really, at least I don't know anyone who's, what we're trying to do, nobody's really done, right? At least in our lane and in our space, and we're given our responsibilities. Like someone might do content, like that's all they do. Or like someone might be a sales manager, but that's all they do. Or like, you know, someone might put on events or train or close or whatever. We do all of it, right? And we have to become great at all these things, you know? And yeah, and like at the same time, you know, the agency and the types of clients that we're working with, you know, taking on a bigger role there. Like I really, like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys like know anyone who's done what we're trying to do, you know? So it's like, we really got to like pave the path, right? We got to like figure it out on our own. So it's like, you know, like what's the next skill set that takes us to the next level? You know, like what's the next thing that we need to learn? And like, I feel like with everyone, it's like almost like with content, with leadership, right? Sticking with those two, like it was like almost like unexpected where, you know, picking up content, like what wasn't my new thing that I wanted to focus on that year, you know, but like it was just the next skill that needed to happen, you know. And then leadership, you know, at the time wasn't really number one focus, but like that's the next skill. And so certain things certain problems you kind of run into as you're growing, and then you have to learn a skill to overcome that problem, right? Like with the content, it was because at the start of the year we were spending 150 grand a month US on ads, right? So we're like, yo, we need a less costly way to get leads, right? Start content, you know. Dylan starts going crazy, locking in clients, taking a piece of the business where, you know, we take over massive part of it. Great. Now we need someone to put in place who can, you know, scale a multi-six-figure sales team, you know. And then I'm sure we're gonna, I don't know, what's the next problem that we're gonna run into?
Swear to hard our money, bro.
Where to hide our money?
Yeah. Bitcoin. But on that note, something that just came to my mind, like especially when it comes down to skill sets, like if you think about like some of the other successful businesses, we were talking about Jeff Bezos earlier, and like I was telling, I mean, bro, he's low-key a genius. Like where I was coming from was that every business problem that Amazon was faced with in their early days, at the very least, they would create another business to solve. Because always creating a business and selling that service to Amazon was always cheaper than just hiring or paying for that service.
Right.
Disk services for their cloud space, or like warehouses for their books. That's how Amazon kind of became Amazon, because they were solving their own business problems by creating other businesses to solve those problems. So it's like, same thing, right? What were we faced with? We've been faced with problems in the past where, you know, whoever we're partnered with, maybe their fulfillment gets a little bit sloppy. Maybe they get complacent once they reach a specific number of sales. You know, now that, you know, we're taking partnership in a lot of offers, it's like, well, we solved that problem.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wonder what the next problem is going to be. But whatever that is, I'm sure will give us a clear sign as to what skill set we need to learn.
Yeah, fuck. Would you guys want to see the future? Would you want, if someone said, yo, here's a, you know, you can either see the future or not. Would you want to see the future?
No.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because then you feel like you're already there. And you were not going to work as hard, bro. It's very simple.
Have you ever seen, fuck, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Do you guys watch, you ever watch Rick and Morty?
I have, but I don't.
You never like nerded out over that shit. You ever watch Rick and Morty, bro?
Who's Rick, bro?
Oh man, I think you'd love it, bro. I think you'd love it. Luke, you've seen Rick and Morty?
Sure.
Do you know that episode where Morty gets the freaking like the diamond put on his forehead where he can see the future?
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
Is this the guy with the like a spaceship?
Yeah, yeah.
Different times and shit.
Yeah. So basically,
A couple of times.
he has there's a it's like parallel universes and like a bunch of trippy shit. Like you need to smoke some weed before you watch it at a great time. But yeah, it's like he has an episode where Morty the kid, he finds a fucking rock that like he just puts on his head and all of a sudden he can just see the future, right? Where he would be like, he would have the thing and like he would like look at two different directions he could go and like he's like looks this way and then he like sees the future that way and he's like, no, I don't want to do that. And then he looks this way and then he sees the future this way and he would go, and then basically he does that so many times where he keeps going down this future because there's like a fucking girl that he likes. And then the last scene is like him being like a freaking like gigantic like sludge alien just like taking over the world because like that was the fucking path to get to what he wanted. So it's like basically the moral to the story is like knowing the future, you just sabotage the present.
Exactly.
Back to what you were saying.
And I feel like it kind of takes away from like the journey over the destination. Like, is it really the destination that we're after? We all have a certain goal and a certain desire for what our life should look like. But is it the life that you want, or is it the journey to the life and the person you become? Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier, right? It's like bigger goals than just numbers, bigger goals than just vanity fucking metrics,
Yeah.
where it's like a purpose-driven goal.
Yep.
If you really want to, but you can see your future where you just gotta visualize it.
Or show me your calendar, I'll show you your future.
Facts.
Show me emotions, I'll show you your future.
Fuck. We went deep there.
Put me on that.
You just I talking that because yes, if you got to see your future, like it's back. This is my future. You will get like, I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
If you start visualizing your future, because now you're like imagining it, and the whole point of like visualization, meditation is so that you can get familiar with your future. And so why it's good is because now you can start to imagine how you would think and feel and how would I act, how would I walk, how would I like talk to people, what are things what I would be doing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so you just become familiar with that. And you'd be like, okay, what would I not be doing? If I was just like multimillionaire, fucking, had a, whatever, this mansion, this and that, how would I not like talk, or how would I not, like, what are habits I would probably get rid of? You know what I mean? Start kind of getting familiar with that. And then you just apply it to now. That's like the whole thing with like meditation and visualization, to get familiar with like who you want to be and just be that person now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With all those questions, it's like it forces you to like look inwards and control the inside instead of manipulating with the outside. Like from that Rick and Morty example you brought up and what you just mentioned with meditation, it's like that's the big fundamental difference. Like with meditation, it forces you to look inwards, but when you have a crystal ball, you're just looking at the world outside. You're not looking inside.
Bro, that was perfect, bro. That was fucking nice way to fucking seal it up. Oh, absolutely.
Nice. Any final thoughts, guys, going into 2025? What's on your mind? What's the focus?
I guess they just gotta stay tuned for the journey. You'll see what our focus is through our actions.
Can't let them know too much, huh? Yeah, I feel like we've gotten super deep on this pod. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's make the future fucking happen.
It's happening already, bro.
For real. Okay, let's wrap it up right there.
Yep.
Cool. Peace.